Summer has officially arrived here in Tulsa, America. If it was not official, it certainly is now, because we are in the upper 90s with heat indexes in the triple digits this week in Tulsa. The children are out of school, they are home throughout the day, and so it is time to start thinking about lunch ideas. And I wanted to share some of our favorites with you. Last summer, some of my most popular videos were kids' lunch videos, where I did kind of a dedicated grocery haul and I made lunches for my children for the week, for something that's like a specific grocery haul. There's like a fly flying around. Specific. I'm gonna get you, fly. Your minutes are numbered. I will leave some of those videos linked in the description box below if you're looking for more like a dedicated grocery haul and a meal plan to go along with it. Of course, the prices are probably not going to be the same because it's been a year and we all know what's happened in our grocery stores in the last year. But just for idea's sake, you can check those out if that's what you're looking for once you're done watching this video. But some of the ideas that I mentioned in those videos were frequent flyers for us now, like crescent roll-ups, where you take sandwich fixings like turkey and cheese and you roll them up in a crescent roll and bake them in the oven, so you have these little hot mini sandwiches. Homemade Lunchables, crackers and cheese and lunch meat. Sandwiches that perhaps we have forgotten about, like a fluffernutter sandwich, you know, bread with peanut butter and marshmallow cream. And things like quesadillas, and also lunch meat and cream cheese roll-ups, which are a favorite in our house all year long. I thought I would share with you guys a few more ideas, kind of take you around my kitchen and share with you some of the things that I keep on hand for lunches, some of the things that I do to help my kids prepare their own lunches, and also maybe even take you into the grocery store and talk about some of the options there, in hopes that there are a handful of ideas that might work for you. Sandwiches are sort of the like stereotypical, quintessential midday meal, right? But I totally get it. Sometimes sandwiches can get boring after a while. And I find that if I want to jazz up sandwiches for my family and get them excited about eating those again, sometimes I just have to change up the way that I'm serving them. Like maybe changing up the bread option, like getting some rolls or getting some croissants, or maybe getting a really yummy, you know, flavored kind of bagel. I'm actually here in the tortilla aisle because my kids actually prefer tortillas to bread most of the time. So instead of making a sandwich on traditional bread, they'll put it on a tortilla and make like a tortilla roll up with it. I can also deconstruct that sandwich and maybe put the sandwich fixings with crackers or with naan for sort of like a homemade Lunchable effect, or maybe throw those sandwich toppings onto a pizza, or maybe put it with some pasta or some rice instead of serving it with bread. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I'm strolling through the frozen aisle here because there are lots of frequent flyers I know that land on lunchtime menus, especially for kids and for families, that I hope I can give some ideas for how to use those a little bit differently. And then there might be a few things that maybe you haven't thought of before that I can point out that make great lunch options also. Frozen pizzas. I know that that is a super easy option to keep on hand and then just toss into the oven, or even some of the mini ones can go in the microwave or the toaster oven. But these also make fantastic vessels for leftovers. So sometimes I will just buy the cheese pizzas, just the plain cheese pizzas, and then I can actually create my own pizza by adding leftovers, like maybe leftovers from grilling the previous night, like steak or chicken, leftovers from taco night, like seasoned ground beef, beans, and salsa, maybe a little extra cheese. And so you can use that cheese pizza as sort of a base for other things that you may have on hand in order to create a really yummy, delicious pizza that's even more filling and satisfying. Maybe they've had these for a while, but it's the first time that I'm noticing them. They have these gluten-free pizza options in the Great Value brand. I mean, I'll probably have to check the label to be sure, but it does say gluten-free on the box, and it looks like they've got like a cheese option with a cauliflower crust pizza. If you're looking for something like that, you can add some things to. Of course, if you prefer to make your own pizzas, there's lots of options for doing that as well, like on tortillas or French bread or bagels. But you might also look in your freezer section for the Texas toast or for the store brand of, you know, the frozen garlic toast, because those make excellent vessels for pizza toppings as well. And sometimes if your kids are old enough, it's something that they can help you out with. You just put a little bit of sauce, some cheese, whatever your toppings are of choice, and then you can pop those under the broiler in your oven or in your toaster oven, or just heat them up however you prefer. And they make really great vessels for pizza or for other sandwich toppings. I cannot see Hot Pockets and not think of Jim Gaffigan. Hot Pockets! Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. Taquitos. Those are really fun to just toss in the air fryer and then serve with like some salsa, maybe some guac, maybe some refried beans to go along with it. My younger daughter really likes these frozen burritos that you heat back up. My only problem with them is that I have a hard time reheating them evenly so they're not like scalding hot on the edge and then still frozen in the middle. So if you have any tips on that. Another thing I have sometimes made for lunches in the summertime that we forget about are soft pretzels. So you have the boxes of soft pretzels like this in the freezer section, and you can put different dipping sauces with it, like maybe jar queso and salsa, maybe a little bit of refried beans, like a bean dip if you want to add a little bit of protein to it, maybe some cream cheese for dipping, or some honey mustard, and then you can just put things with it like cheese cubes or a string cheese, maybe some pepperoni, some fruits, some veggies, just kind of a really easy like finger food that makes a good snack, or you can build into a lunch. What we are feeding our kids for lunch throughout this summer is probably a small worry in the grand scheme of things and in the long haul of parenting. One of the most important things we can do for our kids to provide for them and protect their future is to secure quality term life insurance. Fabric is making this easy and affordable by moving life insurance all online, and they are sponsoring today's video. It can take less than 10 minutes to apply online with Fabric, see your quote, and then personalize it to fit your family's needs. You could even be offered coverage instantly with no health exam required. I did a little research myself, and Fabric has a 5 out of 5 star rating from NerdWallet, which praised Fabric for its easy online application process and its affordable no exam policies worth up to $1.5 million. Fabric also has over 1,600 5-star reviews on trustpilot.com, and it's fully backed by Vantis Life, one of the most trusted names in life insurance since 1847. So you can feel confident that you're getting a high quality policy that is just right for your family. Protect your family's financial future with Fabric. Apply in just 10 minutes by going to meetfabric.com/cmindymom. That's meetfabric.com/cmindymom, or follow the link in the description box below. I'll admit that my husband and I have neglected to do something very important that Fabric is actually helping us with, and that is create a will naming a guardian for our children. Nobody likes to think about that kind of thing, I know, but it's really important, especially when you have young kids. Fabric helps parents create a simple will for free, and then they can help us make it legally binding. Fabric was built by parents for parents to help make it easier to manage our family's finances and secure them for the future. Visit meetfabric.com/cmindymom and apply today. It can take less than 10 minutes. And thank you again to Fabric for sponsoring today's video. 2 of the very first meals/snacks that my children learned to make for themselves were waffles in the toaster. They can just pop a waffle in the toaster, put a little bit of peanut butter on it, maybe slice up a banana to go on top, and they've got a complete meal or snack. And also cereal with a little bit of banana or fruit on the side. And I know it might sound odd to think of cereal as a meal, but in summertime when it's so hot around here, sometimes a nice cold bowl of cereal sounds really good. And I shared with you guys in another video where I was prepping my kitchen for summer with lots of different options for meals and snacks. My little trick for cutting down on the sugar in cereals is to buy sort of a plain low or no sugar cereal, like a plain Cheerio, and then pair it with one of the flavors, like the chocolate and peanut butter ones that are in here along with the plain Cheerios. So that kind of cuts the sugar down in half. Our summers are pretty hot here in Oklahoma. We usually hit the upper 90s and triple digits in July and August, and the heat index is usually in triple digits throughout most of July and August. So we don't eat a ton of hot lunches throughout the summer, but we do occasionally get some rainy summer days whenever we're feeling like cooking up something on the stove. So mac and cheese, very common kid-friendly lunch, right? But if you want to jazz this up, this is a really great vessel for leftovers. So if you have leftover taco meat from taco night, or shredded chicken, or anything that you grilled up on the grill, you can toss it in with mac and cheese and, you know, create kind of a more filling, substantial meal with it. Also, one of my best friends from junior high and high school taught me the trick of reheating cooked mac and cheese. You know how when you put the mac and cheese into the refrigerator and then it just kind of gets all cold and clumpy together? My friend taught me to reheat day-old mac and cheese that's been in the refrigerator in a skillet with a little bit of butter and a beaten egg, so that's almost kind of like a fried mac and cheese. So there's a little tip for you. if you've never heard that before. Ramen noodles are another thing we might have on a rainy summer day. And this is something that, you know, my 12-year-old can actually make for herself, and something that I have been utilizing more in my cooking, because there are all kinds of different ways that you can make this. If you get on Pinterest or you get on TikTok and you look up ramen hacks or ramen upgrades or ramen recipes, it's gonna give you lots of ideas, like the TikTok mayo ramen that I've actually experimented a little bit with on this channel. You can toss in some veggies, you can toss in some proteins, you can toss in an egg, all kinds of ways you can dress up ramen noodles. Back in January, I made a budget cooking video where I actually shared a really easy tomato soup recipe. It was just 2 ingredients, a jar of prepared pasta sauce and about a cup of heavy cream. And you just stir that while you heat it on the stove. It makes this really delicious, rich tomato soup. So easy. You can make a few sandwiches or some grilled cheese to go along with that, and that is a really easy, delicious lunch as well. And in the summertime, I almost always keep a box or 2 of cornbread mix or corn muffin mix on hand in my pantry for making corn dog muffins. So I make the mix according to the package directions. Sometimes I'll double up on the ingredients so I can make a double batch. And then I will add a little bit of cheese and also some diced up hot dogs or fully cooked smoked sausage and bake those in the oven, and they make a really delicious breakfast, lunch, or snack. Now my children are getting a little older. They are 8, 9, and almost 13 at the time that I am filming this. So one of the ways that we navigate summer lunches, and actually breakfasts and snacks as well, is for me to prep some ingredients that make it possible for them to build their own lunches throughout the week. For instance, today I am prepping some ingredients for build your own pasta salads. I am boiling about a pound of pasta and then rinsing that, draining it, letting it cool down. And then I'm also prepping some vegetables like bell peppers and cucumbers, a few protein options like pepperoni or fully cooked smoked sausages, and also some cheese options like maybe just some cheese cubes or some mozzarella pearls. You could also make this vegetarian if you wanted to use chickpeas or black beans or some other kind of option like that for protein. And then we can have a couple of different options for dressings, like a ranch dressing and then maybe a homemade vinaigrette, because my kids like different kinds of dressings. And one of my children actually likes sort of a deconstructed pasta salad where she will make little piles. She'll make a pile of pasta and a pile of veggies, a pile of proteins and a little bit of cheese. And she might even have just a little container of the dressing so that she could dip the veggies or the pasta into it. And that's how she prefers to eat it. But taking just one day to be intentional with prepping those ingredients means that my kids can actually make their own lunches, which frees me up to do my work here on YouTube and around the house. I don't have to stop every single day and prep lunch. I just have to remind them, hey, it's lunchtime. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't usually have to remind my kids that it's time to eat. They're usually pretty good about remembering that themselves. And this concept of build your own lunches can apply to other things. Sometimes I will prep things that make really good burritos or nachos or taco salads. You know, like cooking up some shredded chicken or some seasoned ground beef, having some cheese, some homemade pico, maybe some refried beans available to them so they can put meals together that way. Also, maybe prepping different options for making pizzas or for making sandwiches and different sandwich making items, and just having those options available to them so that then they can learn how to fend for themselves and I can just kind of oversee what's going on. I actually have several lunch ideas that involve a very common kid-friendly lunch ingredient, and I'm going to make a video specific to those ideas. So if you want to take a guess as to what that special ingredient is, you can leave me a comment below. And if you want to find out what those ideas are, I will probably be making that video in the next couple of weeks, so it should be coming out on my channel in July. If you have some kids lunch ideas or some tips that I did not mention, be sure to leave me a comment below. And thank you so much to Fabric for sponsoring today's video, and don't forget to visit the link in the description box, meetfabric.com/cmindymom for more information. A ton of hot lunches and an egg. She would freezer section. How do I say this? I'm gonna get you, fly. Sorry, let me try that again. Okay.